If you're working as part of a team, having an understanding of who you're working with and how they work can go a long way. Well, the same is true for working in After Effects. This is not the most glamorous topic, but it is useful for working more efficiently. Let's start with a simple distinction: preview versus render. Preview is when you hit spacebar and watch your animation inside of After Effects. Rendering is when you export your animation into a file like a .mov or .mp4 that can be viewed outside of After Effects. What gets confusing is that anytime After Effects prepares a frame of animation for human eyes to see, it's called rendering. So After Effects is rendering frames, whether that's a preview inside of After Effects or in order to export an animation to play outside of After Effects. I'll try to be extra clear about when I mean that you are choosing to render an animation, meaning export it, versus when you are choosing to preview an animation and After Effects has to do some behind-the-scenes rendering in order to show you the animation inside the program. When you press play to view an animation inside of After Effects, it stores the frames it renders in RAM Preview. You can tell that your animation has been rendered in RAM Preview by the green bar at the top of your timeline. You've also probably noticed that your animation doesn't play back in real time until there's that green bar. After Effects will also store some of that recent data in what's called disk cache, so that when you need to read it again, it can do so more quickly. This is indicated by the blue bar on your timeline. You can kind of think of RAM Preview as short-term memory and disk cache as long-term memory. A common misconception is that clearing your disk cache will speed up After Effects, but actually this system of caching frames for quicker access later is working in your favor. This system makes it faster to get a real-time playback of your animation. When you close out of After Effects, any RAM Preview data will be cleared, but disk cache data will remain stored on your hard drive. Clearing disk cache will free up space on your hard drive, but it won't necessarily speed up After Effects. Also, if After Effects is acting uncharacteristically slow, you could give clearing memory, meaning RAM Preview, and disk cache a try. Maybe something in there got a little messed up and is slowing things down. Also, don't be alarmed by how much space disk cache is using. The more space you're able to allow disk cache to use, the more frames it can store, so the more frames are ready for playback when you want to watch your animation. When disk cache is full, After Effects will automatically replace old frames with newer ones, so there's nothing that you need to do for this process. New in After Effects 2022, or otherwise known as version 22, if After Effects sits idle, meaning that you pause for 8 seconds, it'll automatically start rendering frames for preview, so that when you decide to press play, it will be more ready to play back in real time. You should start to see this green bar expanding without you having to do anything, except for nothing. You can change the amount of time until After Effects starts this caching process under After Effects, Preferences, Previews. And you can change where it starts from and to what extent it goes. Also new in the 2022 release of After Effects is multi-frame rendering, or MFR. This essentially means that After Effects will utilize more of your computer's power and should be significantly faster than earlier versions. Multi-frame rendering should be on by default if you're using the most up-to-date version, but you can check under After Effects, Preferences, Memory, and Performance. Since After Effects now has a greater ability to utilize all the power of your computer, you can choose how much you want to save for other applications. Obviously, the more power you give After Effects, the faster your previews and renders will be. If you want to read more about this stuff, I've left links in the Projects and Resources tab. If you're thinking of purchasing a new computer, I'd highly recommend doing a bit of research to figure out the specs to look for to get the best machine for your budget.